Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be doing a tutorial on how to add traffic lights to GTA 5. So we're going to add traffic lights to an intersection that doesn't have any. I haven't found a video on YouTube showing how, so I'm going to do one. What you're going to need is CodeWalker. This basically allows you to edit the map. You can make maps with it, edit the paths, edit, the vehicles and traffic and all that. It loads a 3D map of the GTA 5 map, loads a GTA, it loads the GTA map, and basically allows you to edit. I know people use it for, I think, interiors and all that stuff. I use it for Joshua Road Remastered and Blaine County traffic lights and signs. This is the program I use to make maps. So, click download. Once you do that, you will get a WinRAR. Just drag and drop that folder onto your desktop. Open that folder up and open up the application. So right here, exit that, and we're gonna make this bigger. Click these two arrows right here, go into selection, mouse select. If you're already familiar with CodeWalker, you can fast forward a little bit. You're gonna also want to do, you're gonna press T, and that's gonna bring up a menu up there. So let's start off. Let's go to a simple intersection that doesn't have traffic lights. I've already added traffic lights over here with Joshua Road Remastered and Blaine County traffic lights and signs. It looks like we'll go here. This one does not have traffic lights. So what we're going to do first is create a Y map and add the actual props. So let's fly into the city and see if we find a traffic light that we like, and just copy the name down. So there's an intersection right here. These ones are the medium ones, it looks like. These ones are the bigger ones. So we will actually, that one's also a different one. We'll use this medium version, so we're just going to right click that and then copy the name of it. You could also go on Google and search prop list for GTA, and it'll name all the props in GTA, and you can just copy and paste the name of the props from there. But we'll do it this way. So once we have that copied, we're going to go here to new, so up on the top left, and then we're going to go to new YMap file. Click that. Once we do that, we're going to go into, we're just going to click this right here, map 1, and then we're going to click YMap, new entity, and then by default it spawns a alien egg. We'll just highlight that, backspace, and then paste the name of the traffic light. And here we have it floating in midair. So to get into position, we're going to go up here, rotate it so it's facing the correct direction, and then place it where we need it. This is the easier part, placing the props and all that. Making it work is a little tricky, but we'll get there. So let's put it right there. Let's make sure it's facing the correct direction. So maybe rotate it a little bit this way. There we go. And make sure it's not floating. So let's use our mouse wheel to slow down here and get it just right. There we go. Push it a little bit this way so it's almost touching the wood there on the guardrail. Alright, and that looks good. So the next thing we're going to do is make sure the flags are correct. I don't know what any of these flags mean. I only know a couple. What you don't want checked is 32, because if that's checked, it's basically telling the game that it is a hard object. So if you run into it with a car, it won't fall over. It'll be like hitting a brick wall. So uncheck 32, scroll down to 20, 21, double click that. I know that works. If you're unsure what your prop is, so for example, the stop sign is also 2021. I know that from experience here, so that's also checked 2021. If you want to add a prop and you don't know what the flag is, just go and see what Rockstar did and just copy the flags. So back to the traffic lights. So right click it. We're going to need another one on the other side right here. So hold shift and then drag this, and it will copy the traffic light into the same project with the same flag, so you don't have to deal with that again. So let's get this into position. So that one's going to be over here. We're going to have to, let's minimize this so we can work with this better. We're going to rotate it all the way around, obviously. Don't want it facing the other way. And let's move it closer. So let's see, how close do we want this? So maybe right here. And let's make sure it's not floating. Looks like it's actually in the ground, so let's raise it up a bit. There we go. And we don't have to worry about the flags for this one since we copied it from this one. So that one looks good. So 2 out of the 3 done. Now we need another one. I'm thinking we don't want another big one like this. So let's go find a smaller one and copy the name of it. I know in Paleto Bay, there is a small intersection with small traffic lights by the fire station. So let's copy the name of that one. So let's find it here as it loads. There it is. So click it or right click it, and just highlight the name. Highlight the name. There we go. Control C and fly all the way back to the intersection that we're working on. All right. So open up that window that we had open and then click any of these and then add entity. Again, it's going to spawn that alien egg. Just backspace that and add your traffic light. Uncheck 32 and go to 20, 21. Check those. All right. Minimize this so we can work with this. So let's bring it down to the ground here. And we're not that far into the ground. And then we're going to need to rotate it so it's facing the correct direction. That looks good. Now let's center it on the yellow, double yellow behind me. And that looks good. Make sure it's not in the ground or floating. We're actually going to push it a little further back just in case people run into it. That looks good. Maybe rotate it this way so it's facing that lane. There we go. It is kind of a curved T intersection. There we go. Perfect. All right. Now, if you were to put these traffic lights in your game right now, they wouldn't work. They wouldn't light up or anything. So we're going to do the paths or the nodes. We're going to edit the nodes so the cars actually stop at this intersection and the traffic lights actually light up. Let's see. Do I actually like this? I feel like this one needs to be just a little bit this way. That looks good. Now let's see if we were driving this way. Yeah, we would definitely see that traffic light. Perfect. All right, so let's go back to that window. Go into entities. We're going to have 3 because we put the 3 traffic lights here. Click that. This is super important that you click calculate all flags. Don't know what that does. And then also calculate extents. Super important. I don't know why, but it won't work unless you click those 2 things. So once we do that, we can minimize all of these and then start editing the nodes so the traffic lights actually light up and work. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the menu up here. To the select one, we're going to click the drop down menu, and this is everything that you can do. You know, you could edit scenarios, grass, and all that stuff. We are going to do traffic path. And as you can see, these are all the nodes that are in GTA that have to do with the traffic. So for this intersection, I know usually I work with 2 screens, but recording a video, we got to put it in the middle here. So we're going to start with the middle one. We're going to be working with 4. We're going to work with this one, this one, this one, and this one. We'll start with the middle one. So right click that one and add to project. So it's going to add every single node. So it's probably going to add probably like from here to here, but that's okay. It's all part of one single node. As you can see, it's all 720. It's just a different decimal point. So we're going to right click that middle one. We already added it to our project. Now this is where it's going to get a little tricky, so follow along. Don't know what any of these means. I've just experimented with trial and error with creating my mods. I've looked online to see what these, try to figure out what these mean, but I've had no luck, and I actually had to teach myself on how to do these. So for this middle one, we're not going to change much. We're going to change a couple things. This one's going to stay the same. This second one, the second box is going to stay the same. The third one is going to stay the same, but this last one, we're just going to change this to a 3. And the bottom number should change into a 1, and this should be checked. So that looks good. This bottom one right here, this bottom box for flags 3 is going to be 136, and that smaller box is going to be 68. It should change automatically, which it does. Flags 5 is going to be 3, and it should automatically check the ones right here, so these top 2. So 1 out of the 4. Let's go on to the intersection the node right here coming up to Joshua Road. So right click that. We don't have to add to project since it already added all the ones around it that link to it. So right click that one. This one's going to have a lot of changes. So for this first one, it's going to be 67. It's going to automatically check whatever is applicable to that number. The second one is going to be 120. Again, it's going to click whatever, or it's going to check whatever is applicable. Third one is going to stay 0. This one right here is going to be 131, and it should change to 1 and check whatever it needs to. This one right here, the bottom left box, is going to be 88. The smaller box is going to be 44. There it is. And flags 5 is going to be 2. There we go. All right. Hopefully you guys heard me with all the dinging going on with CodeWalker. So we have those two completed. Now we have to do these two. These two are going to be the exact same. So if you want to just watch one and then do one yourself, you can do that. So let's start with this right one. And we're going to start over here again to the right. No changes right here. The second one is going to be 120. Flags 2 is going to be 4. And it's going to check automatically, so you don't have to worry about checking it as long as you put these numbers in correctly. And then this one right here is going to be 3. The bottom one right here is going to be 160. And this smaller box, or not the smaller box, but the box right here will turn into 80. So boom. Flags 5 is going to be 3. And it will check the applicable one. So same thing for this one. If you want to, you can still follow along. If not, you can skip a little bit. So right here, same. So that one's going to stay the same. This one's going to be 120. Flags 2 is going to be 4. This one is going to be 3. And this one is going to be 116. So almost the same. And flags 5 right here is going to be 3. You could do 116. Or you could do the exact same that we did for the last one, which was 160. Whatever you prefer, you can go into game and see whichever one works best. I've had success with both, but to keep it the same, we'll actually make this 160. So boom, that will turn into 80. All right, and we are done editing it. Only thing we have to do is put it into our game. I'm not going to show you how to put it into a game. There's plenty of videos on how to do that. Just basically search on Google or on YouTube how to add custom DLC. I'll show you how I'm doing it because I'm just going to put it into my Joshua Road Remastered custom DLC. So if you're going to do that too, you can follow along. So are you sure you want to close the project? Yes. Save YMap? Yes. And we're just going to save it to desktop. And then same thing with the nodes. Click yes. And then save that to the desktop. And then would you like to save our current project? No. Then we can exit out CodeWalker. We will have our YMap and our nodes right here. So open up OpenIV. Again, if you don't have a custom DLC, I suggest you go and look for a video that shows how to do it. So we're going to go into mods, update, x64, DLC packs. I'm going to put it into, I'm going to put it into my Joshua Road Remastered DLC. So boom, boom, boom. Metas. This is where I'm going to place this YMap right here. Perfect. And then I'm going to go back to mods, update, update.rpf, x64, levels, GTA 5, and then paths. This one right here, so that line, or that pathway, this is where you put your node file. So just highlight and drag and drop. And that's pretty much it. Let's go into game and check it out. All right, we are in game. We're going to drive down to where we place the traffic lights. And we'll drive past some of the traffic lights I've already put in for my other mods. So this traffic light right here, as well as the intersection on US Route 13 in Joshua. These two are part of Blaine County traffic lights and signs. And we're going to take a right on Joshua and go down Joshua because that's where we placed our traffic lights we just made for this video. So that intersection right there is also part of Blaine County traffic lights and signs. Again, the traffic lights that I just showed you how to put in, they're functional and all that, and so are these, the ones that I've already made for my other mods. So this right here that we're coming up to is Joshua Road Remastered. Those traffic lights are part of Blaine County traffic lights and signs. We're going to race through here. Hopefully you don't get T-boned at this intersection. And should be not this intersection, but the one further down. These traffic lights coming up ahead, these are part of Joshua Road Remastered. But we are interested in the ones that are coming up right over here. As you can see, they are in the game, and that one is red, so perfect. And it looks like they are working. So that these cars are stopped. That car went through the intersection. Should change into green here in a couple seconds. There we go, change into green, and that one is red. That vehicle right there is stopped. It has a red light. This tractor is going to try to get through. That's pretty much it. As you can see, they work. Hopefully y'all were able to follow the steps. Again, with Y maps and all that, you don't have to use a map editor or map loader or anything like that to load it into your game. Once you spawn into your game, they do work. So yeah, they work perfectly fine. As you can see, we did the flags correctly, so they do fall down and spark up, as you can see. So as long as you follow the video and all that, you should be good. Other than that, I appreciate y'all watching. Hope you enjoyed. If this was helpful, please consider subscribing. I'm going to be doing more tutorials and uploading and all that stuff. And yeah, pretty much that is it. Take care and God bless.